A pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the sweetest town in the United States of America, for tonight's PIAA Class 5A Boys State Basketball Championship between the Abington Heights Comets and the Mars Fighting Planets. I am Chris Suma, will be providing play-by-play. I'll be joined shortly by Dean Corwin and Tom Robinson, and Thomas Kerrigan is providing our engineering here tonight. The Comets come into tonight's contest with an overall record of 26-3. They were 12-1 in the Lackawanna League Division I, back against Scranton Prep, Wallenpaupack, Delaware Valley, those names, some of those crossover battles. And the Mars Fighting Planets, 25-4 overall, played in the very tough and expansive WPIAL in District 7, which is the Pittsburgh area, and they competed in Section 2 of the WPIAL. Head coach of the Comets, Ken Bianchi, a historical career, a historical season, as he broke numerous career records for wins in a career this season. First time for him in a state championship game. A lot of anticipation for this over the last several days, given the cancellations with snow and weather that no one can control. But both teams come in here hot as anything, 10-game winning streaks for each respective team. Last losses coming in non-league affairs for both contests. This time I'll bring in Dean Corwin. And Dean, you know, it's been a great season so far. You can't say enough about the opportunity to play in a state championship contest. Not many teams left at this point, obviously. But Comets really led right now by George Tinsley and Jackson Danzig throughout the season, but both of those players really stepped up as the state playoffs have gone along.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a team that's been knocking on the door. They've had a couple of opportunities and have not been able to get past the Eastern Final for a number of years. They've always run into a hot team, whether one of the Philly Catholic League teams, to really not been able to get over the hump when they might have had the team that has gotten this far. This year they did it, albeit in some crazy, unforeseen circumstances, but they beat Bonner Pendergrass, the champions of the Philadelphia Catholic League. So if you're going to beat the champions of the Philadelphia Catholic League, you're doing something right. And there's an experienced group you mentioned with Tinsley and Jackson. These guys have been through the wars there. They've been through the state playoff play, and go up against a really tough Mars team. Of course, it's much ballyhooed here as the two big players for Mars. They equally have gotten to this far, haven't been able to get over the hump. They've gotten to the finals a couple of times, but unable to win it as well. So both of these public schools, which is a bit of ironic in this situation with so many of what's going on between public and private, two public schools going after it here, both I think equally deserving of getting to this far. And on paper, it looks like a pretty good matchup. Both guys, of course, you don't get this far without having some key star players that kind of carry you. Of course, Abington with George Tinsley and Jackson Danzig, and then the Carmody brothers, Michael Carmody and Robbie Carmody. Of course, a lot's been talked about them. Both Robbie is the commitment to Notre Dame and Division I scholarship. His younger brother Michael's going to play football. He's being looked at by a number of Division I schools as well. Father's the coach, and so it's it goes a long way. The school districts are remarkably similar, so it should be an entertaining one. And you look at it on paper, and I think you've got a pretty even matchup at least on paper. Looking at it,
all the makings. And you alluded, Dean, to that matchup against Bonner Pendergrass. And Tom Robinson had the opportunity to cover that game live. Tom is the freelance reporter to the Stars for many outlets in the Northeast Pennsylvania area, and he's had quite a career in the media as well. And Tom, you were there firsthand, and some of the craziest things, I know I was following it on Twitter, your Twitter feed, and just to see what had happened at that end of the game, buzzer sounds, kids go crazy. You can't blame the kids, you can't fault the kids. It's a historic thing a ritualistic thing where they throw the Hershey Kisses on the floor. They're excited, and then everything breaks loose. Referees are calling fouls. Just take us through from your perspective what you saw that night. I know you had mentioned, I think you even tweeted to say, craziest outcome you've ever seen in your career.
It absolutely was, and I've seen many of them along the way. I was thinking on the way down here, this is more than 100 of these state championship games through the years, and many of the games have led up to it. And I've seen many Hershey's Kisses thrown on the floor. I've seen some thrown on the floor with clock still running. I've seen them in similar last few second crazy situations. I've never seen that technical foul called for that reason. All kinds of emotional, wild swings up and down in those last few seconds, including the brief moment after the first one where the Abington Heights kids, fans, etc. had reason to celebrate going to Hershey. Then the helpless feeling of a player on the line shooting 4. If he makes all 4, there is nothing Abington Heights can do at that point. They're not going to steal the ball in the final second and turn around and get the shot that they would need to win. So after 3 straight made free throws,
easily made.
And the fourth one rattled around. It was not a bad miss. There were moments when that ball was up around the rim. You don't know which way it's going.
I talked to Coach Bianchi about that, and he said he's a devout Catholic, goes to St. Anne's novena every year, and he's at church. He said Coach Jack Lyons from West Scranton was across the court from him, talked to him after the game, and Coach Lyons said, "Coach Bianchi, did you see what happened?" He says, "No, Coach, what happened?" He goes, "That fourth free throw, I swear St. Anne came flying in and knocked the ball out of the hoop, Coach." So, as his parting remarks to me were, let's see, I think St. Anne might have one more left in her.
Well, at that point, they're still tied.
Right.
Yeah.
And because of the technical foul, and because the referee was able to determine that there was a full second remaining, anybody who's watched enough March Madness, let alone high school basketball, and I have 3 or 4 that I've filmed this year of buzzer beaters where I just happen to remember to pick up the phone or the iPad and say, film this just in case, which I don't do much of in my job. And I've had a few of them this year. So now at that point, Bonner Prendy has a second left in the front court, and you can't foul them. You can't do something crazy. You defend the best you can under those circumstances. It was about a 25-foot shot, but it was squared up, and it was dead on target, a little short. Hit rim and came out. But even at that point, there are ways it can get away. And the thing I come away from that game most impressed about is what a poised, composed overtime period the Abington Heights team played. For many ways. First of all, 3 different players stepped up to the foul line and made 2 shots each in that setting. None of those 6 shots, to the best of my recollection, touched any part of the rim. They were there.
True.
They were straight through.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you had a very good defensive team pressing, trapping all over in the half court, with Abington in the lead now most of overtime, needing to play under control. And the composure, and Coach Bianchi explained it to another reporter after the game, some of the things they do against the trap, and he really tries to teach his kids to avoid trying to see that guy open. Not to panic and do exactly what he's watching you do, which is try to make a long, difficult pass out of the trap. So well. So the biggest thing I come out of the after possession was they had also played very well throughout the fourth quarter, all leading to unless a foul call is made. None of the Hershey's kisses, none of the technical foul, any of that matters, if not for a close call. And you're not going to have every close call go your way, but a close borderline call in the corner on a loose ball rebound with the clock running out. The official timekeeper didn't even anticipate it. He lets the clock run out. The horn goes off. There's a foul away from the ball, started all of that. But again, everything for the most part that Abington Heights could control late in that game, even extending back through the fourth quarter, they handled very well.
Both teams on the court still in the warm-up period. We're just under 3 minutes at 2 minutes and 45 seconds before the buzzer will sound, and at that point we'll take a quick break. But Dean, you had alluded to the Carmodys before. Michael Carmody, the sophomore, 6'6", 260 pounds inside, and he is a football recruit as a sophomore. Pitt, Temple, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Michigan. But the key guy that the Comets have to worry about is Robbie Carmody. He is the Notre Dame recruit. He passed on official offers from Michigan and Purdue, which if you look at it now in the Final Four, that might be a spot where you wanted to go. But what are the keys for the Comets in trying to slow Carmody down?
He's got a lot of, comes in averaging over 30 points a game, so he is the straw that stirs the drink for this team. But there's some other guys that help him. Obviously, his younger brother, Michael, helps him inside. Their biggest guy, their center, comes in at 6'10", but not an overpowering. I'm sure Abington Heights has probably seen a taller lineup during the course of this as well between that. But they do have some supporting cast a little bit. I believe Cade Hetzler, I believe, is the one that hit the running layup to beat Hershey to get him here, the last second shot. Correct. So it wasn't even either one of them that did it. So it's really going to be, you've got the kind of the Carmody brothers for Mars. You've got Tinsley and Danzig for the Comets. Who's the X factor? Right. Who's it going to be that doesn't show up that, hey, Carmody's going to get his, I think going in, you got to know that Carmody's going to get his 20, 25, or whatever. What you can't have happen is a third guy totally off the radar, go for 10, go for 15, go for something that, plays way above his head. Right. And now you've got three starters. Same way for Abington Heights. They can get a third person going. Then you've got options, Tom. And
that X factor down the stretch quite often has been Jack Nealon. Early in the year, I think Abington Heights was considered around the state as a serious contender to be here because of three strong players, and that being Tinsley, Danzig, and Trey Kohler, who has gone out with a foot injury that has kept him out of 2/3 of the season. From that point to reemerge as the team that would end up here in the state final, one of the big developments along the way has been Jack Nealon. And you referred to the other players. One of the other keys in the Bonner Prendergast game was, with all the foul trouble Abington Heights faced in that game, Alex Derry and Drew Nealon both came in, not provide a lot of numbers, but they kept from hurting the team. And to be frank, Coach Bianchi is a little reluctant. He's not a guy who runs a deep rotation. He subs minimally. Those kids didn't have a lot of that type of playing time, and they came through in that situation.
Coach Bianchi, in my pregame talking with him last week, spoke very highly of Nealon and just his maturity as the season has gone along. So we'll see. Hopefully, we get a big effort from him. Maybe Malone, maybe Perkins. One of those guys. They do rely, even though Malone doesn't get a lot in the stats, they do rely on him as a force in the middle. It'll be a battle of astronomical proportions as the Comets and the Planets get set to take the court here. Pre-game introductions just about ready underway as the video montage happens. So we're going to step out. You're going to have some royalty-free music for a couple of moments just so we can get through the player intros and the national anthem, and then we'll be back with live coverage of the PIAA Class 5A state championship game here from Hershey. We'll be right back. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hershey, Pennsylvania, the Giant Center for tonight's PIAA Class 5A Boys Basketball State Championship game between your Abington Heights Comets and the Mars Fighting Planets. I am Chris Suma. I'll be providing play-by-play. I'll be joined momentarily by Dean Corwin providing the color, Tom Robinson helping us out with stats, and Thomas Kerrigan will be handling our engineering. Starters for the Comets: number 10, George Tinsley; Perkins, 22, Jackson Danzig; 23, Jack Nealon; and 45, Mike Malone. For the Planets, number 2, Cade Hetzler; the Comets in the white uniforms with the blue trim, and the Planets in the blue with the yellow trim. Tip goes to the Comets. Here's Tinsley. Now the ball around the perimeter, back out top to number 23, Jack Nealon. Back to Perkins on the left wing. Comets moving right to left in front of us on your dial. Three-point field goal, Jackson Danzig, and a good start for the Comets.
He's a streaky shooter. He made his first 5 2 games ago against Northeastern. That's a very good start for the Comets.
Here's Recchia now in the left wing to Brandon Caruso. Caruso back to the left wing. He's guarded by Danzig. Here's Carmody, drives the basket. No good, gets his own rebound. Up again. Looked like it was up and down.
Jump ball.
Jump ball.
Yep.
Possession to the Planets.
And that's Carmody's game. He is a big kid, 6'4", but likes to get to the rim. He's very strong inside, so he's going to try to keep it the Comets going to try to keep it at just one shot there. It's going to be very tough to do so.
Comets, it looks like, in their traditional matchup zone.
We'll see how Mars attacks this. Normally you'll run your man stuff against it. We'll see what they do here.
Here's Caruso out top. Ball back to Carmody again. Carmody on the season headed to Notre Dame as a Division I basketball recruit, and his brother, sophomore, headed for multiple football opportunities. Here's the ball inside on an alley-oop pass. Good for Carmody, and a collision with Tinsley, but no call after the fact.
Typically they're going to let him play here in the first couple of minutes.
Ball in Danzig's hands, back out top to Nealon. Excuse me, it was Corey Perkins, three-pointer off the mark. Rebound by Nealon, over to Danzig. Ball in and out on a three-pointer again. Fighting down low. We have bodies all over with Tinsley and Malone, and it looks like a foul will be called on Cade Hetzler for the Planets.
Boy, another good look for Danzig there. That one just rimmed out, but boy, rebounding a huge key. There are bodies flying all over here in the first quarter.
We talked about it, Dean, in the pregame. We'll see what matchup the Comets might be able to have with the size advantage that they have. But here's a steal now for the Planets. That came from Hetzler, so he washes out his foul, and now possession after a foul to Tinsley. So one apiece here in the early going. 6:35 to go here, first quarter. Comets with the lead, 3-2.
Imperative that Tinsley and Danzig stay on the floor. That's the only way Comets have a chance.
Here's Caruso, right wing now to Recchia. Recchia dribbles left hand out top to Michael Carmody, and he goes left wing now to Caruso. Looking to get the ball into Robbie Carmody's hands. Here's a steal from Danzig, but he's out of bounds. Nice athletic play trying to get the ball back in bounds, but
boy, great matchup. Carmody and Jackson Danzig guarding each other at that point.
6'4" and 6'6", respectively, for Carmody and Danzig. Ball now again in Carmody's hands. He's on the right wing, drives baseline past Tinsley. Ball no good. There's Tinsley with the rebound and a foul. A quick one on Robbie Carmody, so give Carmody a foul.
Well, things have evened up now. Tinsley with one, Carmody with one. Plays so hard, goes to the basketball, goes after the loose ball.
Definite fan advantage for the Comets. The Comet Nation has traveled quite well. The 2+ hour drive to Hershey. Over the timeline goes Jack Nealon into Tinsley's hands, now down low to Danzig. Danzig out top. Three-pointer on the way for Corey Perkins, and it goes. And a 6-2 lead for the Comets.
Nobody guarding him there. Nobody there in front of him, and Perkins made him pay.
Top of the key over the right wing. This is Recchia. He looks down low, bodies on the ground underneath as Malone and Michael Carmody bang together. Three-pointer on the way, solid, straight through for Andrew Recchia, and a 6-5 Comet advantage. Here's Nealon, guarded man-to-man against Recchia. Ball now into Danzig's hands. Caruso now inside looking for Tinsley, but it's tipped away. And Danzig on a hustle play, looked like he knocked the ball away from Carmody, but it is Fighting Planets basketball.
Well, it looks like both teams are over the jitters already. It's been a physical battle here in the first 3 minutes of the first quarter.
Here's Hetzler. He's on the left wing, looks back to the top of the key. Now cross-court pass stolen by Tinsley, but he can't control the ball. He steps out of bounds right in front of our broadcast area.
That's the one time we were glad we were not in the first row. We could have been part of the action there.
Inbounds play here goes Caruso now at top of the key. Comes to his right, hands off to Recchia. Ball back across, top of the key, Hetzler. Now down low, looks underneath, off of Recchia's hands and into Tinsley's. He goes to Danzig. Danzig now to Nealon on the left wing. Three-pointer on the way. No good off the front of the rim. Cleared out by Michael Carmody. 6'6", 260 underneath, Dean.
Going to be tough to get him off the boards. Carmody right off the dribble scores for three.
Pull-up three-pointer gives the Planets their first lead of the night at 8-6. 4:28 to go here, first quarter. Across the timeline, Corey Perkins. Perkins hands off to Tinsley. Tinsley looks, jump stop, but he traveled beforehand. So a turnover. And we come back across. Here is Recchia. Comes to the right wing, hands off to Carmody. Carmody, right-hand dribble, tries to little shake and bake, but it goes left wing, or excuse me, left to the top of the key to Hetzler, who misses his three-point opportunity. Comets come back from Perkins across the timeline, now down low to the low left block, out to Danzig, left wing. Top of the key as the Comets reset to Perkins. Tinsley in the left corner, 18 feet. Oh, it was a three-pointer on the way, no good, but a rebound from Malone, back out top to Perkins. He looks wide open three-pointer, drains it, and a 9-8 lead back for the Comets.
That's another one by Perkins. Mars has left him alone twice to the point where he had wide open looks and have made him pay both times.
They're daring him. They want to stop Danzig and Tinsley as they can. Here's a drive score on the left hand from Brandon Caruso off the left wing. Jack Nealon now. Over to Tinsley. Down low, it's Danzig. Danzig backs in. Back out to Perkins. Long three-pointer from Nealon on the way. No good. And a clear out by Robbie Carmody. He goes now full court. And he blocked, but he's going to call a blocking foul on Danzig.
Boy, Carmody initiated a lot of contact that time. He put his head down and lowered his shoulder all the way towards the basket there. Danzig held his ground well. Went up for the block and got called for the personal, his first.
We have a TV timeout on the floor as the video rights are exclusive to the PCN cable network, and it's being carried voluntarily by cable companies across the state of Pennsylvania. But we have the advantage of at least being able to get this on the air. And I must tell you all to thank the administration of the Abington Heights School District. We are sponsor-free this evening, but without the support of Superintendent Mike Mahan, Mr. Snyder, the high school principal, Randy Hanyon, the athletic director, those three gentlemen did some great work behind the scenes to get this on the air, to be able to provide for the folks who don't have the PCN network or don't have the resources to get the PCN network. So we appreciate everything that they've done to get us on the air here this evening.
Right now, Abington really settling for the three-point shot right now. 3 for 8 from the three-point line. Mars just 2 for 3. They're going with the inside game. Carmody driving to the hoop. Michael Carmody inside, arguably the biggest kid between the 10 players on the court right now. So they have got that inside drive game, maybe kick out for 3, where the Comets are solely relying on the 3-ball right now. They've been able to get away with it for a little bit right now, only trailing 10-9, but they're going to have to get something inside. They've tried to post up Jackson Danzig inside on the smaller player guarding him, but he's been getting help from Michael Carmody on the inside, so we'll see how that matches up, but they got to get something in the paint.
Here's Robbie Carmody at the line, an 82% free throw shooter on the season. He is good with his first attempt. This is his 302nd, now 303rd free throw attempt of the season. His next closest teammate is at 95, so that gives you the idea. 31 points a game as he hits the second one, how much they want the ball in Robbie Carmody's hands. 12-9 lead for the Plants. Here's the first one on the way for Tinsley, and he is true. Only a 70%, 69.7% on the season for Tinsley, and if there's a weakness, that might be the one minor weakness of his game is his free throw shooting. But second one on the way. That one is true as well.
Hex him like I do. I can hex the best of the foul shooters here, and you do better than I do already.
2:35 and counting. Mars up 12.
Carmody has a pretty quick trigger, but right now, and he's going to give another one away. Jackson has been right in his tracks the entire night so far. Rebounds right now. Abington does have the advantage, 7-4. Tinsley has done some damage on the boards. He's got 4 already.
12-18 to go. Possession for the Comets. Possession arrow also in the Comet favor. Here's Tinsley at the foul line. Handoff here to Jack Nealon. He's on the left for the Comets.
Nice job by Nealon. He had Carmody lurking over there, so he couldn't go all the way to the rim, but found some room for the little teardrop.
The teardrop over the top of the 6'6" Carmody. Here's Caruso, kicks back, and it's knocked away from Michael Malone. On the fast break comes Nealon. Nealon on the left wing finds Danzig. Two-hand bounce pass to Tinsley, and the lead expands for the Comets 15-12 with 1:30 to go in the first quarter.
Nice little drop off. They saw the charge possibly coming. Jackson Danzig avoided it. Great bounce pass resulted in a layup at the other end.
Here are the Planets now. Left wing is Caruso. Out top to Hetzler, in the right corner to Michael Carmody. Now back to Caruso. Left-hand dribble to the top of the key. Tries to cross over, 2-3 zone. Won't allow him to go anywhere. And here is Carmody again, pressured this time from Perkins. Big pick that time from Michael Carmody. Stop Perkins in his tracks. And another turnover. This time Perkins. He's on the break, dishes over to Tinsley, and he gets it to go with 54 seconds in the first and a 17-12 lead for the Comets.
It's all getting done on the defensive end. Mars can't run their stuff. They are calling all the passing lanes right now, and right now defensively, Abington Heights getting it done.
That matchup zone that the Comets and Coach Bianchi is so known for, doing its job early on here in the state championship game. Three-pointer on the way, and it is good for Brandon Caruso. Brings them back within 2. 30 seconds to go first quarter.
That time the zone got a little over-rotated, and that allowed Caruso to get free. They needed that one there.
Here's Tinsley at the foul line, handoff to Perkins. Three-pointer does not catch anything, and with 17.6 seconds to go, possession will go back to the Fighting Planets as they are down 17-15.
That was an 8-0 run stopped there by that three-pointer there, as it really was sparked by the Abington defense. Again, Carmody against Jackson, pretty much one-on-one.
Out top, here's Hetzler. Pressure comes from Nealon. The ball is kicked with 0.3 on the clock, so you have to
I don't know if they realized it. Now that I think they do. Yeah, they realize there's 0.3 left now. They didn't realize there was time on the clock. That'll work.
The ball is batted away by Tinsley, and that'll end the first quarter. With the score, Abington Heights 17 and the Mars Fighting Planets 15. We're going to take a quick break here. Again, you're going to have some free music here by some great artists out there in the YouTube world, and we'll get you some information on them. But just to give us a chance to recollect our thoughts here, we're going to get a quick break here leading into the second quarter. Comets lead 17-15 after one. And all of our music being brought to you by No Copyright Sounds. It's a channel on YouTube. Some great people out there. Audio Scribe, Def Kev, Techno Axe, Laszlo, and Alan Walker. Just some of the artists that were able to help us out tonight.
On my mixtape.
Yes.
Do they have those anymore?
Absolutely. Some of the kids may not know, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. All right.
Chris Suma alongside Dean Corwin. We have Tom Robinson helping us out and offering some pregame thoughts. And Thomas Kerrigan, our engineer. Again, special thanks to the Abington Heights School District allowing us to get online and present this to you via the district YouTube channel. And thanks to Thomas Kerrigan for setting all of that up. We appreciate his support, and I know the school district does as well.
Now the Comets have got it done on defense. 3 steals, 2 blocks, and a couple of deflections. And the Comets have attempted 13 shots. Mars just 9. So they've limited looks at the basket right now for the Planets right now, and Comets with the advantage heading into quarter number 2.
Here's Danzig out top to Nealon. Now Perkins on the right wing.
Trying to post up Danzig on the much shorter Caruso inside. Man-to-man by Mars.
Ball now out top to Tinsley. Tinsley left-hand dribble to Nealon. Nealon looks inside to Jackson Danzig. Now kick back out. Now back down again inside. Danzig on the turnaround jumper from 5-6 feet. Doesn't go. Rebound, Caruso.
That's a good look. He's got the height advantage inside. Michael Carmody's not guarding him, and so it's a mismatch advantage to the Comets. That one just didn't go.
Three-pointer in the corner from the larger of the two Carmodys, the 6'6" version. Michael Carmody
He'll
does
shoot
not
it out
go.
there. But I'll take a 6'5" center shooting 3-pointers in the corner. That's deep.
Here's Danzig with a deep three. Doesn't go, but the ball back out to the top of the key. And a great play by Corey Perkins to just tip the ball into the hands of Jackson Danzig, and the Comets can reset. 7 minutes even to go here, second quarter. 17-15 lead for the Comets. Here's Nealon out top. Now on the left wing to Perkins. No movement. 4 across for the Comets. Ball in the hand of Jackson Danzig. Now Tinsley. Now over on the left wing. It's Nealon. Nealon out top to Perkins. Perkins right-hand dribble to the right side. Gets the ball in the hands of Jackson Danzig, who dribbles cross-court pass to Nealon. Nealon now back out top. This is a game that fits the Comets style as well. Coach Bianchi happy to run through his sets to try and get the look that he wants.
Yep. Yeah, this is a Mars team that averages in the 80s. Good move.
Inside for Danzig, doesn't go. Sorry, Dean.
No, they're again posting up. The people guarding Tinsley and Danzig are not the Carmody brothers. There's another steal.
Quick hands that time by Jack Nealon. Gets a steal. Ball back in the hands of the Comets.
So they have the size advantage inside, trying to post them up in there, and Jackson Danzig has had 2 good looks, just unable to drop. Here he is again.
Ball down low.
Reaching.
They collapse on him, and there's a foul called. It's either going to be Carmody second or Caruso.
Caruso is at 5'10", guarding the 6'6" Jackson Danzig. So they're putting him right on the low block and letting him go to work inside.
Danzig now at the top of the key, still has Caruso guarding him in a man-to-man defense for the Fighting Planets. Perkins now on the left wing. Back out top, Jack Nealon. He shades to the left side, now dribbles to the right side. Drives, stopped, ball in the hands of Tinsley. And we have a blocking foul. That looks like it's against Robbie Carmody.
And that is
his second.
And that is 2. Neither team has gone to the bench, but we'll see if that happens here. Mars is slightly deeper. They'll use a couple extra people more. Ken Bianchi very reluctant to use more than 5 players. But now Carmody, the senior, has played with 2 in the first quarter before, but we'll see what happens here.
And he fouled out in the game against Milton Hershey, the semifinal game. Here's a shot, a three-pointer on the way from Danzig, doesn't go. Rebound to Carmody. He's pushing the full length of the court. Ball knocked away by Jack Nealon once again. But did they call a foul?
Nope.
Okay.
Just out of bounds, off of Nealon. But that's Carmody's game. 94 feet, goes straight to the rim.
Yep.
He's drawing a lot of contact, a lot of opportunity for some charges if you can get in front of him. A lot of opportunities to draw some offensive fouls at this point because he has put his head down and drive to the basket. That is his game.
If the Comets can get him a third foul here early in the first half, that would be a huge advantage. Here is Recchia out top. Not a lot of movement from either team here offensively or defensively as the Planets try and get set in their offense. Now things move around. Again, the 2-3 zone matching up for the Comets. 3 on the way, and it is true for Andrew Recchia. And now the Planets lead 18-17. 4:56 to go, first points of the second quarter. Here is Jack Nealon, looks inside to Danzig. Danzig goes to the left elbow for Perkins, doesn't go. Rebound by Robbie Carmody, and he looks to push the pace. Now we get a 30-second timeout from Rob Carmody, the head coach of the Planets and father of both Michael and Robbie.
Both teams have struggled so far, as Abington Heights hasn't scored since the last 45 seconds of the first quarter. They're 0 for their first 4 here in the second quarter, so they've cooled off shooting, but it's not because they've forced a lot of shots. They've had a lot of good looks. Jackson Danzig and low post have had a lot of good looks as well. Corey Perkins has had a couple of good looks as well, because it's not because of forced shots or bad taken shots. They've taken some good ones. So if you're Ken Bianchi in the huddle, keep doing what you're doing. Defensively, you're playing pretty darn good against a team that scores in the 80s right now.
Right.
You like the pace of the game because you're right now not even at 20, and we're going to be at halftime. We're right now at about a 50-point pace, which the Comets would gladly play in at this point. So defensively, you have no gripes. Offensively, you'd like to make a couple shots, but it's a one-point game. It's exactly where you want to be.
On the season, Mars had put up 190 a couple times. On average, they average 71.5 points per game, and the Comets give up 44. So the game is right where the Comets want it to be, and you would expect that in a state championship game. Two teams that are mirror each other here, battling it out from the Giant Center. Here is Caruso. He drives the length. No good. Rebound from Mike Malone. He hands off to Corey Perkins. Perkins up court to Tinsley. Tinsley pull up 3, stops, kicks back out to Perkins. Perkins now looks on the left wing, Jack Nealon. Nealon looks inside to Tinsley. He's got it. And a little baby hook goes for George Tinsley, in the lead back in favor of the Comets.
Tinsley matched up against Hessler. Hessler giving up about 5 inches at least on that one, and that's where they've got to convert. They've had some looks. That time they've actually converted on it.
Communication for the Comets in the defensive end. Tinsley barking out instructions in the 2-3 zone. Just want guys covering area. It is clogged up through the middle. It looks like the Planets a little frustrated in what they typically do here offensively. Ball here on the right wing to Recchia. He drives in the right underneath the basket, no good. And a fighting rebound from Jack Nealon, kicks it to Corey Perkins, and it is Comet ball. Over the timeline goes Perkins. 3:21 to go here, second quarter. 19-18, Abington with the lead. Possession arrow favoring the Planets. Nealon, deep 3, no good off the back iron. Rebound to Recchia. Probably not a shot Coach Ken Bianchi wants there.
That was a well behind the line there. Probably could get something better.
Recchia tries to match him up, and he does so as Andrew Recchia from about 24 feet drains one for the Planets.
He's 41% out there. You've got to know where he is at all times, especially outside the arc.
21-19. Here's the ball in the left corner. This is Danzig. Danzig pick and roll to Tinsley. Now it comes back out top. Here's Nealon again. No good.
A foul on Mars.
Underneath, it's going to be on Hetzler. I believe that'll be his second if that's who they go with. It is. Oh, no, 24. 24, that's on Carmody. There's some confusion as to who the foul was on.
The board has Hetzler.
Okay.
So I think that's what we're going to go with. But Recchia 3 for 3 on threes, so that's where his 9 points has come from, is the three-point line. He's kind of been the X factor. We've seen nothing from Michael Carmody. He's just really been rebounding on the inside. He's actually only taken 1 shot, and he actually only has 1 rebound. So he has not been that much of a factor right now. But it's Recchia with 9 with his three-point shooting. Caruso with 5. Carmody with 7 as you're scoring right now for Mars. Meanwhile, Abington has spread it around a little bit. Of course, Tinsley has 8. Perkins has 6. He had those 2 threes early, which worked well. Danzig, outside of that first 3, has not scored, but he's had some really good looks inside. They've posted him up inside, let him go to work on the shorter players as well. He's had a couple good looks. They've just struggled a little bit. Abington just 1 for 8 this quarter, so they've really struggled shooting the ball, but they're only down 2 at this point. So, again, the defense has played really well. 5 turnovers for Mars. Abington has only turned it over 4 times right now. So I think you're still okay. Still keep playing the same as you did, and hopefully the shots will fall. Usually a pretty good shooting team is Abington, but right now just 7 for 21, 33%, and 3 for 14. Mars is rolling the dice saying that, hey, Perkins or Nealon or anybody other than Danzig and Tinsley is not going to beat me from the three-point line. Right now, it's working. Perkins has burned them a couple times, but right now they are reluctant to guard anybody else out there.
Right. Here's the inbounds. Ball to Perkins in the left corner. He dribbles out to the top of the key now as the Comets will get set. Here's on the left wing. This is Danzig, looks inside to Tinsley. Now it's around the horn from Malone over to Perkins on the right wing. Looks inside, here's Michael Malone out top. Now the ball in Nealon's hands at the three-point line to Tinsley. Tinsley drives. Right-hand layup goes. And we're all knotted up at 21 with 2:15 to go here in the first half. Ball on the left wing for Caruso. He drives to the top of the key. Looks back out, and he dribbles, bounce pass out to Recchia. Recchia left hand on the left wing. This is Michael Carmody. Michael Carmody, 6'6", 260, not playing inside that much. He's been out near the three-point arc quite a bit. Here's a fall back, long-range two-pointer from Caruso that goes, and the Planets climb back on top by 2, 23-21. Tinsley from the inside pass from Danzig. Looks around, kicks out to Perkins, now to Malone. Malone kicks it back out to Perkins for three. It's good!
Oh, they screamed they wanted to charge inside on Tinsley, but he never really initiated much contact, kind of a flop, and that allowed the extra pass, and Perkins right now is the X factor for Abington Heights.
Someone that we look to in the pregame, and Perkins is so far that guy that stands up. Here's a three-pointer and a two-pointer. Looked like he was three. That was Michael Carmody from just inside the three-point line on the right wing, complaining he felt he was behind it, but no go from the officials in a 25-24 lead for the Planets. Here's Tinsley down the low block. Ball is knocked away. Back out top. This is Perkins. 55 seconds to go.
They are letting them play inside. A lot of contact, and so far nothing called for the most part.
They are trying to front Tinsley, and they have Michael Carmody sitting behind him, waiting in a – here's Jack Nealon looking for one from about 15 feet, does not go, and a rebound, and it looks like they want one shot here for the Planets as Rob Carmody is trying to give instruction to his team and his son in particular.
And if I'm Abington, I let them play out here. You're only a down one right now. Your defense is playing good. Just see if you can deny Carmody the ball and make somebody else beat you. Right now, Recchia is the danger right now for Abington Heights.
Comet Nation erupts. Ball gets away from Carmody, and another turnover against the Division I recruit to Notre Dame. Mike Bray won't be happy when he sees that.
Now, Comets with plenty of time, 12 seconds. Go to your pet play right here to get a basket.
Here's Danzig out top, one-on-one against Caruso.
Oh, offensive foul.
Tinsley angry, but looks to the bench. Coach McLean and Bianchi. Go ahead.
You've got to keep that, and don't put yourself in a position where you have hands on opposition players to give them that opportunity.
6 seconds to go. Ball in Carmody's hands, and is stripped away from Kyle Perkins. Corey Perkins, but go ahead, Dean.
That was right in front of us. That was a pretty good play there, but a tough foul.
Called foul on Perkins.
Comets have fouls to give, though.
That's only the fourth team foul here in the first half, so it'll go out of bounds with 3 seconds to go. Comets taking no chances. They're going to front Robbie Carmody. Ball still goes inside to him. He gets a shot off, and it is no good. Rebound to Perkins, and that is going to end the first half of play. After the first half, the Mars Fighting Planets 25, your Abington Heights Comets 24. We're going to take some time away. Again, you're going to get some no copyright sounds music just for a couple of minutes. Give us the chance to get set, get some halftime stats prepared for you. Have an opportunity. We're going to try and get Principal Andy Snyder down here if we can to talk about some things that happened in the school this week and some other great things that are happening around the building. So, again, from the Giant Center, the 5A championship between Mars and Abington's, the Fighting Planets lead 25-24. We're back here at the halftime show. Again, at the half, Mars leading Abington Heights 25-24. We got 4 minutes on the clock, some halftime activities going on, but very quickly we're pleased to bring on high school principal Andy Snyder. And Mr. Snyder, give us your quick thoughts on how the first half has gone so far for the Comets.
Well, I think they played some good team basketball. You know, we have to get a little bit tougher on D, take some of those easier inside shots and finish hard to the basket, and I think we'll be able to pull it out with a W.
You think any frustration comes from Tinsley there with that late offensive foul?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, that looked a little questionable from my seat, but I'm not out on the floor, so.
What's the buzz been like around the school this week? You know, I know the weather delay didn't help, but still there has to be – that had to carry over through the weekend and into this week.
Well, it's been absolutely electric. It really has. You know, last week – with the overtime game, I didn't think I could get the kids calm enough during the week.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been really good, and actually I think the delay helped our guys get settled, get focused in for the game, not come out all amped up, settle those nerves. So it's been phenomenal with our school and with our kids and the donations and just the outpouring of well wishes. It's just been absolutely fantastic.
You've seen state championships before in your time, Jordan Hoyt, Evan Craig, Clayla Cohen, a national level, even the baseball team. You know, what can a state championship do, not only for those kids, but for the rest of the school foundation as well?
It just unites us. I mean, nothing raises school spirit like a state championship. You know, I've been able to see the individuals, but I also saw that team championship in 2009 with the baseball team. And just the way that the school community gravitates together and rallies behind and supports their team, there's really nothing like it. And, you know, moving forward, this will always be the class of the first state championship basketball team. You know, win or lose, this is our first time out here. And this class will then always be remembered for the first class to be out here. It's a really great honor for the seniors as well.
You talked about the community, and it just, you know, reminded me what a great send-off today. You know, you had police cars from all different regions, you had fire engines, you had all sorts of really great excitement and build-up. You know, what kind of, you know, what does that mean not only to the kids, but it shows the community support rallying behind them?
The team themselves, they said they felt awkward doing it, but they just loved the outpouring. You know, whether it was the Krispy Kreme donuts that got donated, whether it was the trip to Nikki's Hoagies last night, whether it was every single EMT in the greater Abington area being there to support them and to wish them well. You know, it really meant a lot to this team and to this coaching staff.
So outside sports, I know we're doing some really great things. You know, you look at the district Facebook page, you know, you're talking about visual arts. You know, the Interact Club did some acts of kindness last week. Great science program, robotics program, all-state orchestra. You know, just talk about some things that are happening outside the realm of sports.
Well, we've had 4 all-state musicians, 1 from band, 2 from orchestra, and 1 from choir. We have had 2 national champion powerlifters this past weekend, which was really great. Our robotics team was in the finals at their first qualifier. They have their second qualifier this weekend, and they're hoping to make regionals next weekend at Lehigh. We've had 2 Odyssey of the Mind teams qualify for nationals. They were state champion Odyssey of the Mind teams from the high school, and they're going to be moving on, and hopefully we get them off to Worlds.
Sure. Hopefully
we can get our robotics team there to nationals, and you know, our all-state musicians are going to be going out. We also have 2 musicians, Teddy Lambert and Abby Molnar, are up for WVIA Artist of the Year.
Oh, that's great.
So Teddy's a performing artist and Abby's a visual artist, but they are both one of the top 11 artists in the area. So it really is great that our arts, our co-curriculars, our extracurriculars, our sports teams, you know, we're really hitting on all cylinders right now.
That's outstanding. You're doing a great job. I know it's your second year as high school principal, so I know there's been some, you know, change in administration, but I think you and Ms. Theoni and Mr. Lemoncelli are doing some great things at the high school.
We keep trying every day. You know, what I ask of the kids, what I ask of the teachers, and what I expect from myself is that we do our best to be the best every day. Whether it's academics, whether it's extracurriculars, the arts, it doesn't matter. You know, our motto at Abington Heights is do your best to be the best.
Outstanding. Mr. Snyder, I appreciate it. Good luck to the Comets here in the second half, and hopefully we can come home with the state championship.
Let's hope so. Go Comets.
Thank you. We're going to continue on here with some halftime stats compiled from our friends here. I'm going to get Dean Corwin back on the headset, and hopefully Dean can provide us. He's got the stats in his hand. He'll go through them quickly here as the second half just about underway, or just about ready to get underway. Let me turn you up.
There you go. How's that?
Yeah.
One that sticks out, actually, Tom Robinson pointed out, points in the paint. Now, Mars has a bit of a size advantage with Michael Carmody inside. Abington Heights has outscored Mars 12-4 in the paint. So an interesting move. They've had to go inside. Obviously reluctant on the three-point shooting. Just 4 for 15 in the first half. That's going to have to get better to help out inside.
Teams flip sides. Now the Planets going left to right. Three-pointer on the way for Carmody. No go, but a rebound from Michael Carmody underneath. And it is knocked out of bounds by Abington. So Abington will travel left to right, and the Planets going right to left.
And we'll see what adjustments made on both sides. I think Abington not going to make too much. They got exactly what they wanted there in the first half. We'll see what Mars does here.
Alley-oop attempt for Carmody doesn't go. Ball on the floor. It's a scramble, and we have a foul. It looks like it might be on Perkins. We have a man down holding his nose. That's Carmody, Robbie Carmody, on the floor. And training staff is out on the floor to determine Carmody's condition. Don't know if there's a bloody nose, but he's got to come off, and he's not happy about it.
Perkins has picked up his second.
Carmody is going to check out, and he's
going to go straight to the table.
He's going to go straight to the table, and that's going to bring in number 22, Luke Morrissey, who looked more than ready to come in. I think he yawned, took off his jersey, fluffed his pillow, and then made his way to the scorer's table.
And he will be out in just as fast.
Right.
That's the first sub of the game, by the way.
Right, for both teams. Ball comes in, out to the top of the key to Michael Carmody. He drives. Little teardrop doesn't go, but he's over the top. And that'll be his second foul. And substitution will come back now. Because it was a blow to the nose or blow to the head, I think is why they wanted to make sure.
The trainer came out. That's why. If the trainer doesn't come out, he's okay.
Right.
But trainer came out on the court, so he's got to come off. Just like in football, when the trainer comes out,
sure,
you got to come off for one play. In this case, some time has to elapse off the clock.
A sub, yep, absolutely. Pressure now on the full court against Jack Nealon. He gets the ball on the right wing of Danzig. Danzig drive. His little 8-footer doesn't go. Rebound from Robbie Carmody. Carmody happy to take it now the length of the court. He gets to the top of the key where he's stopped. Now on the left wing to Caruso into the corner for Recchia. His three-pointer doesn't go. Rebound Corey Perkins. Perkins under control across the timeline. Now to the middle of the floor. Hands off to Jackson Danzig, who bounced pass to Nealon. Now back on the right wing. Here's Corey Perkins. Looks inside. The ball is knocked away by Cade Hetzler, and he walks as he traveling. So it was a steal by Hetzler, and there was George Tinsley to pressure the fast break attempt, and prior to the layup, we had a
he's behind
violation.
Hetzler,
yes,
and in danger of committing a third foul on a breakaway, and just disturbed him enough that caught Hetzler underneath the basket with nowhere to go. Really a fluke play, and it turned out in the Comets' decision.
Still 25-24, 6:38 to go here, third quarter. Perkins on the right wing, guarded by Carmody. Here is Nealon. He goes in the left corner for Danzig, and a three-pointer is true. And the Comets lead 27-25, 6:25 to go. Andrew Recchia, top of the key. He goes to the right side to Caruso. Caruso, left-hand cross-court back bounce pass to Robbie Carmody. Carmody has Perkins in his face. He goes right-hand, pass over to Hetzler. No good. Rebound almost took Jackson Danzig right in the noggin, but still pushed the pace up the floor. Here's Tinsley underneath. Back out top, Danzig. Pass over to Perkins. He drives, looks for a foul. Looks like he's going to get one on the floor. It's going to be a Carmody.
Pick your Carmody.
Number 3, Michael Carmody, and that is his third foul.
Either one would have picked up 3, so.
Foul on the bigger of the two Carmodys, if you will. Ball under the basket from Jack Nealon. He will inbound, looking for Danzig. Goes out top to Tinsley. He's got it at the Giant Center logo. Comets in their white uniforms, the blue trim. Tinsley drives on the left wing, and he's going to draw a foul. This time will be against Hetzler. That'll be his third.
So Hetzler and Carmody with 3. Robbie Carmody has 2. An interesting situation. Tinsley has 2. Perkins has 2 for the Comets. So right now, foul situation benefiting the Comets a little bit. We'll see if they're more aggressive here on the offensive end.
Inside to Tinsley on the out-of-bounds play. The ball is blocked by Michael Carmody. The Comets retain possession. Jack Nealon, three-pointer. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
They have not guarded Nealon. They have not guarded Perkins. And right now, the Comets have made them pay.
30-25, 5:30 to go, third quarter. The Planets. Carmody on the left corner, three-pointer on the way, no good. He had Tinsley in his face, fast break opportunity. Jackson Danzig pushes the pace. Handoff to Nealon, three-pointer, good! And the momentum shifts, and Comet Nation on its feet. Timeout to the Planets. 33-25, 5:16 to go here in the third quarter.
Jack Nealon, two just huge threes. Right there. Again, the Planets have played poker here, Russian roulette with Nealon. They have refused to guard him outside the three-point line, and both Nealon and Perkins have really done the job. Perkins now 3 for 6 from the three-point line right now, and an 8-point lead, largest lead of the game by either team here early in the third.
A 36% three-point shooter is Perkins. Jack Nealon at 42% from behind the arc, 39% from behind the arc. You know, pushing the pace, a fast break opportunity there with Robbie Carmody underneath. There was a little contact after his three with he and Tinsley, but no call because it really was nothing after the fact. Danzig pushes the pace. We had a wide open three. And Dean, as you said, those two guys, who was going to be the guy to step up outside of the names we already knew? And so far, it's been advantage Comets with Perkins and Nealon.
And again, defensively, Mars scoreless over the last 4 minutes. It's a 9-0 run by Abington Heights right now. Mars 0 for their first 5 shots. They've settled for the 3-ball a lot here. 4 of the 5 shots have come outside the arc. That's not what they did in the first half. They settled for a lot of 3-point opportunities here and have come up empty. The shooting numbers have evened up a little bit. Abington a little bit better. Mars not quite as good. Things are evening out, and it's resulting in an 8-point lead for the Comets.
5:15 to go here, third quarter. 33-25, Abington Heights. Ball goes to Hetzler. He's on the left wing. Almost a turnover from Caruso. He goes inside to Carmody. He drives, no good. Rebound by Michael Carmody, no good. And we're going to get Danzig over the top.
Somebody, I think Carmody was in position, and somebody, Malone maybe?
It looks like 22 over the top. Yeah, his second foul. And those are the 6 fouls for the entire game that the
Tinsley, Perkins, Danzig.
Yeah.
2 each.
Ball underneath for the Planets in Hetzler's hands. He looks to his right for Robbie Carmody. No good, and he throws it away, but it was tipped. So now in the backcourt is Caruso. Caruso pushes the pace on the left wing, underneath on the left and the low block to Carmody. He looks for his brother, drive, and the foul. Going to be against Danzig, or that might be against Malone. Nope, Danzig it is.
Danzig,
two quick ones.
He has picked up 2 and 3 quick, and that was just a simple give and go. Carmody's cutting to the basket. We'll see if Carmody now tries to get to the rim even more. Put his head down, drive to the basket, get to the line, get Mars back in the game. This is his game. Get to the line, convert, 3-point play opportunity.
82% free throw shooter. He is true with his attempt. The conventional goes, and it is a now 33-28 game. Comets across the timeline. Ball in Perkins' hands on the right wing. He goes to Tinsley out top. Now Danzig on the left wing. Danzig looks back out top. Nealon guarded man-to-man. Perkins now left hand underneath to Michael Malone. The ball is blocked by Carmody. We had a great no-look pass to Malone, and he couldn't convert. Here's Carmody again. He drives. Foul on the floor again. You got to hope this one is against Nealon.
It's Carmody. He's going to put his head down and get to the rim, and the Comets have got to realize that.
That one is against Nealon. And you can't take this Mars team for granted. They were down big against Milton Hershey last week and made a great push to get themselves into this final with Robbie Carmody on the bench. Ball underneath, now back out top. Here's Michael Carmody. He hands off to his brother. Robbie Carmody, left wing, George Tinsley guarding him.
There he goes.
He drives, and he gets one to go. 31 points per game. And he's got the last 5 points
in this
contest.
He's carrying the Planets on his back right now. He's going to take it. The ball's going to be in 24's hands now until Mars gets back in front.
5-0 run here for the Planets. Makes it 33-30. Tinsley, top of the key. Guarded, drives, right-hand teardrop, gets it to go. Pushes the lead back to 5. Another foul here. This time
was
on
a nickel dimer. of all the physical play, and then you call that. That's
Corey Perkins.
Small change.
Corey Perkins on right in front of the official scorers table. We have a media timeout, TV timeout. Again, PCN with the rights. We don't have any commercials to go to, so to speak. Again, special thanks to the Abington Heights School District. We were able to have Mr. Snyder on at the half, but credit goes to Mr. Snyder, Dr. Mahan, and Mr. Handy, the athletic director, putting together the opportunity for us to get this broadcast on the air. Again, I'm Chris Zuma alongside Dean Corwin. We have Tom Robinson, freelance writer to the Stars, with us, helping us out, providing some commentary where he can, but he's solely focused on getting his stories written, and Thomas Kerrigan engineering here this evening. Great crowd for the Comet Nation. Again, student body taking up 3 sections here at the Giant Center. Goes 105, 104, and 103, and it's filled with blue and white. So great credit to those that made the trip down from Clark Summit, and a great community send-off as the Comets left the building earlier this afternoon.
Yep, the fire department and police department were making a lot of racket about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right down State Street in downtown Clark Summit, sending the Comets off as well. Mars has brought a pretty good crowd. They filled up a section, even though they have come a long way. They do have the advantage. Their girls team is over here in the front row, and of course they're one of the few teams outside of Imhotep that has both their girls and boys teams. Their girls team plays tomorrow here at Giant Center, so a lot of the folks going to be here and are going to be here tomorrow as well, overnight, regardless.
Yeah. 35-30, 3:44 to go here, third quarter. Ball out of bounds on the sideline for the Planets. Again, the Mars Fighting Planets, their blue uniforms with gold and white trim. And the Abington Heights Comets, an astronomical battle here for the 5A championship. Ball swung around in the corner. Caruso, three-pointer off the back iron. Rebound, Michael Carmody. He kicks to Hetzler. His two-pointer doesn't go. George Tinsley, skies high above. 3-on-2 fast break here for Tinsley. Tinsley drive to the basket. His layup goes coast to coast with a 7-point lead for the Comets with 3:13 to go in the third.
Look for where Robbie Carmody is, 24 in blue. We'll see if the ball goes through him.
Here's Caruso.
Not going to let him have
Knocked away that time, Jack Nealon again. Nealon, ball to Perkins. Back to Nealon, over to Tinsley. Put it in for two. 39-30 are the Comets.
And look at the Comets running now all of a sudden.
Ball back in Caruso's hands. He looks for Carmody, guarded by Perkins. There's Carmody on the drive. His teardrop goes over the top of Tinsley.
Here comes full court press. Oh, they're going to back off a little bit, but I would expect if this gets any worse, especially late in the game, that they will spring this full court pressure. The Comets got to be aware.
Coach Rob Carmody of the Planets throws his hands in the air. This one's tipped away, turnover for the Comets. And now the ball again here in Robbie Carmody's hands. Top of the key pull-up three-pointer. Gets it to go. Smooth shot from Carmody that time. He's heating up, 17 points so far through 3 quarters. Typically in the neighborhood of 30, 31 points per game. Here's Danzig on the right elbow. Now at the top of the key, he hands off to Nealon. Nealon, left wing to Tinsley. Tinsley pulls up, short, just inside the three-point line. Fast break opportunity here for the Planets. Here's Carmody. He drives, gets the basket to go, and one. And just like that, a 7-point lead is, a 9-point lead is cut down to 4 with an opportunity for a 3-point play with 1:57 to go here in the third quarter.
Out in transition, this fits Mars' game a little bit more than Abington Heights. They'll run when have the opportunity, but Mars can get the ball up and down the court, and this is Carmody's game. Get to the rim, get to the line, and score. And right now has gotten Mars all the way back to 1.
38-37, I had incorrectly given the score earlier. So 39-38 here, 1:50 to go. Third quarter, Tinsley, he's on the left wing. Looks across, has Malone way out by the logos. Now back to Tinsley. It looks like Abington is happy to hold the ball here. We'll wait and see. Coach Ken Bianchi with a Coach Jack Lyons move here to pull the ball out and hold it and dare the Planets to come and force them to do so, and they do just that. There's a foul called here against Tinsley, and it's going to go against the Carmodys, and it is Michael Carmody. That's his 4th, and he immediately walks to the bench.
Boy, and that is a silly foul. 90 seconds to play. The ball's 40 feet away from the basket. They tried to spring a trap, and Carmody commits the foul, and now with 4 fouls, he's going to sit. Now we'll see if the Comets can take advantage. Mars has gotten a lot smaller now with Carmody on the bench.
That's Ray Kahn that checks in for Carmody. And a teardrop goes with another dive attempt from the Planets as Danzig gets one to go from the right block, and a 41-38 lead, 1:09 to go. Ray Kahn, 6 foot 2 inches, he checks in for Michael Carmody, who was 6'6" and 260. Kahn doesn't go anywhere near 260. Ball off of the foot of Cade Hetzler for Mars. Possession will go back to the Comets. And you have to wonder with 58 if Coach Bianchi will try and eat this 1 minute away.
Well, if it worked once, it's going to work again. Now they're going to try to pick up a little bit.
Corey Perkins, they had a full court press with Recchia, but Perkins slowly across the timeline. Now here comes the pressure from Hetzler. Perkins.
Full out delay here.
Ends up in Danzig's hands. Danzig on top of the three-point line, and you have Tinsley and you have Malone out near the logos.
The old North Carolina 4 quarters.
Crossover move from Danzig gets some oohs and ahs from the crowd, but again, Comets are happy to just milk this 58 away, which is now at 24. Ball in the hands of Tinsley. Left-hand dribble. He's got Carmody on him. Michael Malone. The clear-out attempt. Tinsley behind his back, kicks back out to Danzig. Danzig fakes the 3. Inside to Tinsley. Left hand goes. 11 seconds to go. 43-38 Abington. Pressure in the full court from Perkins. Ball in the hands of Carmody. 4 seconds. 3, 2. Pulls up Carmody for 3. No good. And after 3 quarters of play, the Abington Heights Comets lead the Mars Planets 43-38. We're going to take a quick timeout. Again, no copyright sounds. Great YouTube channel giving us some great music here this evening. And we appreciate everything they do to help out everybody across the country with some no copyright sounds. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Suma alongside Dean Corwin, Tom Robinson, and Thomas Kerrigan. We're here live at the Giant Center. The 5A boys basketball state championship game between the Abington Heights Comets and the Mars Fighting Planets. The start of the 4th quarter, Abington leads with the possession arrow in their favor, 43-38, 8 minutes away from a possible state championship, and it would be the first ever in school history in the sport of basketball. Again, in 2009, the boys baseball team, and we've had some individuals with Evan Craig and Jordan Hoyt in the sports of wrestling and track, respectively, and Clay Laco, of course, with the national championship in powerlifting. Go ahead, Dean.
Well, the Comets in the 3rd quarter shot well 6 of 10 in the 3rd quarter, 3 of 3 from the three-point line. Meanwhile, Mars was just 1 for 7 from the three-point line. Their shooting percentage, they're down into the 40s now. They were up near 50 in the first half, and now Abington is up at 43%. The shooting percentages have now evened out a little bit, and now Abington with a 5-point lead. It's the biggest lead. 9 was the biggest lead by either team.
Full court press here. Ball on the sideline right in front of us. Looked inside for Tinsley, and is a turnover. Here is Recchia. He drives, got Malone on him. Can't get it to go. And here's a rejection from George Tinsley.
Oh, the Comets dodge a bullet there. That could have been a 3-point game and momentum to Mars.
It's better than having to fly to Mars, I would assume.
Sir.
That was Ray Kahn, who was in for Michael Carmody, and Carmody just
heads to the
moves
table.
over to the table.
Pull the trigger right here, 4th quarter. He's going to go down with all the bullets in his gun if he does.
Pull up attempt here. No, Tinsley over to Danzig. Danzig now on the right wing to Nealon. Again, trying to milk the clock, take possessions away from the Fighting Planets, is a game Coach Bianchi is certainly well versed in, given his time in the Lackawanna League. 3 men out top. Danzig gets it. He drives. He's got body contact. That's against Kahn. That'll be Kahn's first foul, and it'll put Danzig on the line in a shooting attempt.
Comets have committed 6. Mars has committed 5, so we're just about shooting the rest of them here. 1 foul to give for the Planets. And
so after the failed inbounds and the fast break snafu, Comets able to take almost a full minute off the clock in their half-court set. Danzig at the line, 75% from the free throw line.
Here comes Carmody with the 4 fouls. Corey Perkins has 4 fouls. Picked one up in that third quarter. That was that nickel dimer out front,
right,
before the timeout there. So 2 players, but Comets so far can do it without Carmody. Here's a great offensive rebound.
Tinsley off the miss from Danzig gets it to go, and it ends up as a 3-point play. 46-38. Comets, 6:57 to go, fourth quarter.
Ball's going to be in the hands of Carmody. You know it's going to be his right here. Oh, he got free inside. They didn't account for him.
Underneath, nobody found him. A wide open, uncontested layup for Carmody. His 22nd point on the night. Here is Jack Nealon. Again, man-to-man pressure from the Planets. Tinsley on the left wing.
They try to get Mars to run around and chase a little bit here.
And they are. Tinsley fights through a double team from both Carmody brothers underneath to Jackson Danzig, and they call an offensive foul. I guess he maybe lowered his shoulder. Is that what they call it?
I've seen worse not called in this game. It's the only offensive foul they've called all night. We've had people diving all over the floor in this one. They haven't called it.
That puts that will put Mars in the bonus next time down.
And Danzig with 4 fouls. So Perkins and Danzig both with 4 fouls. A lot of basketball to be played here.
You have to figure Carmody 3-point attempt here on the left wing. No good. Skying for the rebound is George Tinsley. I tell you what, he's a great player to watch play. Highly athletic, really goes after the basketball. Here's Perkins. We got a hand check foul that time against Cade Hetzler.
4 on him. So Hetzler and Michael Carmody with 4 for the Planets. Perkins and Danzig with 4 for the Comets.
Russian roulette all over the place here.
Perkins has played well, though, in this one. They basically said, hey, Corey Perkins, you try to beat us. And so far, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. 9 points. Tinsley with 20.
Ball underneath. There was some
Mars
confusion.
6 foul.
Confusion at the number of fouls. So
now we're shooting it the rest of the way. 7 on the Comets, 6 on the Planets.
5:57 to go here, fourth quarter. 46-40, Abington Heights. Nealon up top to Danzig. Danzig hands off to Tinsley. Tinsley cross-court pass to Nealon. Back across to Tinsley with Carmody on him. Tinsley crossover dribble into the right corner. Finds Danzig underneath. Little give and go.
Little 2-man game. They got Tinsley. Everybody collapsed on Tinsley going to the rim. Left Jackson Danzig all alone for a layup.
48-40, 5:30. Looked like Parrish, Bird to Parrish or DJ to Bird, something
Classic.
like that. Inside, ball goes to Carmody. He's
going
at
up.
the right elbow. Spins to the middle of the floor, gets it to go, and the foul. It's a question on who it is. It looks like it might be on Danzig given his reaction. Count the basket, and it is. Foul on Jackson Danzig, and that is his 5th foul. He will foul out, and there is nothing but stunned looks on the faces of Coach Ken Bianchi. And Coach Bianchi giving it somewhat to the referees about the charge that was called in the low block earlier in this quarter here. Danzig encouraging his teammates as now we get Drew Nealon to check in, and a standing ovation for Jackson Danzig as he fouls out, and the encouragement he tries to give to his teammates. Gives a pat on the head to Drew Nealon, and Nealon will enter this one less than a point per game average, but a 3-point play goes for Carmody and makes it a 48-43 game here with 5:23 to go. As you said, Dean, a couple of times, a lot of basketball that we played, and you've just lost points per game out of your lineup.
Now it's going to be interesting. Now Carmody's made his last 6 shots that are not 3-pointers. It's going to number 24. He's going to get him back into this game if they're Mars. You know the ball's going to him. It's a one-man show now. focus right now on Tinsley with no Jackson Danzig in there.
Right.
So now the court gets awful small, and I know you're trying to milk it, but you've got 5:23 to play, so they're going to play that four corners play, 4 quarters offense, try to result in some easy layups, but they might do it against full court pressure. Mars may start to put the heat on here.
Set up in a full court press as we come out of a timeout. There are several timeouts, 2 timeouts left for Mars, 5 for Abington Heights. So here we are in the full court press and a throwaway from Perkins. Some confusion in the front court. Ball back. Nealon draws a foul, it looks like against Carmody.
Double foul. Double foul. They've called one on Carmody, which I don't know how. I don't know how Nealon gets a foul on that. He's the one on the deck, but they've called a foul on both Carmody,
Drew Nealon,
and Drew Nealon, which you'll take that trade off. Nealon picks up his 3rd, though. It should go to the arrow.
And if it does, it'll be Mars possession either way. Coach Rob Carmody not happy with it, but like a gnat drawn to the light, Drew Nealon was stuck to Robbie Carmody.
Yep.
And Carmody throws a forearm in the chest of Nealon, knocks him to the ground, and yet there's 2 fouls called.
Oh,
Throwaway here for the Planets. Coach Carmody not pleased with his son. Drew Nealon 6 feet tall, so he gives up 4 inches. Obviously, the 6'5".
You go to the arrow here? No, the arrow stays with Mars. So there, yeah, the double foul does not result in going to the arrow. So Mars kept possession at the time of the double foul. They've got to worry about an inbound here.
Perkins gets it into Tinsley, which is a good idea. And the ball goes almost intercepted, but here's Nealon now over to Malone. Spin move, Malone. No go. Rebound by Tinsley, and he's pressured and a foul called. And there are 2 guys on the floor, and Michael Carmody is hurt. He comes up limping.
He has twisted an ankle, his left ankle.
Foul was to number 23, Brandon Caruso.
His 2nd, but Carmody coming up very gimpy.
Very lame.
Officials asking him if he's okay. Tinsley's going to go to the line here.
A lot of confusion. 5 minutes, 4 seconds to go. 48-43 lead for the Comets. George Tinsley to the line. 69% free throw shooter on the season. Hands in the air for the Comet Nation. On the way, first one as true as it can be.
10
Extends
points,
the lead.
10 points, 4 rebounds here in this second half for Nealon. He's been a one-man wrecking crew.
49-43. Second one on the way. Again, as true as can be. Nothing but net. And Nealon is going to face guard Carmody from the minute he gets
Hey, this game, they've been diving all over. Nealon's got 3 more fouls to give.
So we're in a box and one situation here, essentially, where Nealon is face guarding and fronting Robbie Carmody everywhere on the floor. And foul is called. They're going to call a push. I guess it was on Nealon. No true indication.
Drew Nealon.
Correct. Drew Nealon.
10 fouls on Abington Heights, so now it's two
bonus.
shots.
4:46 to go here in the fourth quarter. 50-43. 2 shots. It's going to be Robbie Carmody going to the line. Again, you're listening to live high school basketball coverage here on the Comets High School News YouTube channel. Against we have the Abington Heights Comets and the Mars Fighting Planets. Again, I'm Chris Suma alongside Dean Corwin. Our special assists from Tom Robinson and Thomas Kerrigan. Timeout that time was from Abington Heights. They have 4 remaining. And the Planets have 2 timeouts remaining. And just to reset everything, Jackson Danzig fouled out with 5 minutes to go in the game. Foul trouble for the Comets lie solely on the shoulders of Corey Perkins and his 4 fouls. Outside of that, Tinsley with 2, Jack Nealon with 1, and Drew Nealon now with 2. And the foul trouble on the Planet side of thing, you have Hetzler and Carmody with 4 each, and then Caruso and Robbie Carmody with 2 and 3 respectively.
Carmody's still a bit gimpy here. We'll see how much of an offensive threat here he is on the boards, but so far Mars has been perfect. 5 of 5 from the line. They've all come from Robbie Carmody, and he's at the line again.
Coach Bianchi talked earlier in the week about the typical 2-3 matchup that they like to play, but he did say, like Abington Heights did against Scranton Prep, they wouldn't be afraid to go in a box-and-one to get Carmody out of his rhythm, much like they did with Leo O'Boyle for Prep, and it causes a miss here early. The free throw, first one, no good for Carmody.
If he makes, expect full court pressure.
Second one on the way. Notre Dame recruit is true to his 82% free throw percentage. Full court press. Ball in the hands of Tinsley. Trap comes here on the left side. We have a blocking foul against Hetzler. That should be 5 against Cade Hetzler.
So each team has lost a body.
That's going to put Tinsley back to the line. And given his dynamic duo partner in Jackson Danzig, the pressure is fallen fully on George Tinsley's shoulders, and thus far he's been up to task. The ball never got picked up by the referees. Everybody set at the free throw line, and yet the ball was still back in the other end of the court at the press table. So here we go. 4:44 to go here, fourth quarter. Fours are wild.
Last of the one-on-ones here.
50-44 is your overall score. Tinsley, first one. Again, his free throw stroke right now is where it needs to be. No other way to really say it. No depth perception issues given the opportunities we had to play at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Now this one rattles out. So 3 out of the last 4 for Tinsley. Here comes Carmody, the ball in his hand. Foul, they're going to call a touch foul here against Drew Nealon. That'll be his third, and that's a frustrating foul for him.
Because Mars is going to go to the basket. Carmody's putting his head down, being the aggressor, going to the basket. The Comets are not going to the basket. They're trying to hold the ball and shorten the game. So now all these fouls are going to go against Abington Heights here because Carmody's being the aggressor.
First one goes. Again, not a lot of time has elapsed on the clock. Only 4:37 remaining here. Seems like the last 30 seconds have taken about 10 minutes to play. Second one is good, and a 51-46 lead. 5-point advantage for the Comets. Tinsley guarded by Carmody. Again, full court pressure. Here's Perkins. Perkins looks across the timeline to Nealon. Nealon to Perkins, or excuse me, to Tinsley, and Mike Malone again gets the ball swatted away from Michael Carmody, and back the other way goes Andrew Recchia. Recchia at the top of the key. Carmody begging for the ball, finally gets it on a handoff, and here's Drew Nealon out top. Carmody drives, right hand, scoop, gets it to go, and now a 3-point advantage. Ball in the hands of Jack Nealon. Pressure fades now for the Planets. Nealon across the timeline into the right corner, finds Tinsley underneath. Spin move. And a scoop score that time for Tinsley with 3:50 to go here in the fourth quarter at a 53-48 lead.
Comets really needed that one. They need some points going in.
This one might be on Tinsley. You had Mike Malone set to take a charge, and Robbie Carmody was quick to dive to the right to get away from the contact.
It's a clear out, and Carmody is going to the rim every single time. Nobody else is even touching the ball right now. It's Carmody against the world.
Media timeout on the floor. Again, we appreciate the support of the Abington Heights administration for getting us on the air tonight. Dr. Mahan, Mr. Schneider, and Mr. Hanyon, all three doing a great job to work with the people of the PIAA to get us on the air and give an opportunity for those not with PCN Network at home or somewhere across the country. We're glad you're listening. See some great numbers of people that have us tuned in. Chris Suma alongside Dean Corwin bringing you the play-by-play action here from the Giant Center in the sweet Pennsylvania.
Here, Comets are still trying to shorten layup there, so they are just going to get a layup look right now and try to take time off this clock. Still a lot of time. Really have no right now for Carmody. A good matchup. Carmody's 8 for 13 in the second half. Tinsley's 5 for 7, but Carmody's been to the line 7 times already. Carmody had 23 points this half. Tinsley has 13. Carmody has 30 for the game. Tinsley has 23. It's mano a mano at this point in the final 3:42.
as advertised, they were, whether it was Pittsburgh or whether it was the Scranton Times, they said these teams matched up. They were kind of mirror images of each other, and so far we've seen that. Clinging to a 5-point lead with 3:42 to go. Robbie Carmody goes to the line. The Notre Dame recruit can't get the first one to go, 82% from the line. That's the second time, I think, out of a timeout that he's missed the front end of his 2 shots. Second one goes.
Here comes the full court press again. They're going to do this till the game's over.
4-point lead. Perkins underneath, looks and finds Tinsley. Ball is thrown away. Nealon can't get it, but there's ball out of bounds. Yep, ball out of bounds. So it was a steal by Brandon Caruso. Drew Nealon couldn't get a handle on the ball, but for right foot out of bounds for Brandon Caruso, so it'll be a sideline out of bounds possession to the Comets. The possession arrow points to the Fighting Planets. 53-49, 3:38 to go here, fourth quarter. Class 5A state championship game. Here's Drew Nealon. He gets it to Tinsley. Tinsley on the right wing. Hands off to Malone. Malone, Drew Nealon again. Almost a walk. How about a foul there? Tinsley now
there's one
at the free throw line. Gets one from behind. That's Brandon Caruso. That'll be his third. And the reason I'm sorry, go ahead, Dean.
Both teams over the 10 foul limit, so everything's 2 shots.
Reason I said how about a foul was Drew Nealon was whacked from behind from the club of Michael Carmody. There's just a little bit of a weight advantage there for Michael Carmody over Drew Nealon. Tinsley gets the first one to go. 54-49, 3:25 to go. Fourth quarter, PIAA 5A state championship game. First opportunity for the Comets.
What's Malone and Carmody talking about? They're sitting on the line just having a chat.
Second one goes 55-49.
Neither of them have been really a factor except to rebound the ball.
Right.
All right, here we go again.
Robbie Carmody out top. He's got pressure from
gave it up.
Jack Nealon. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Fighting for the rebound is George Tinsley. Who's that going to be on? We have a collision.
Comets, I think.
Collision between Jack Nealon and Michael Carmody. And the Nealon family took a deep breath to make sure that Jack came out of that one okay. Quite the body check he received that time from Michael Carmody as the ball ended up in Carmody's hands. Here's a 67% free throw shooter is Michael Carmody. His first attempts, I believe, on the night at the free throw line.
Well, it's been somebody other than Robbie Carmody at the line now. So
first one goes. You have to assume with their dad as the head coach that these two, both Robbie and Michael, have been shooting free throws for as long as they can remember. Second one, no good. Fighting for the rebound, Tinsley and Robbie Carmody. Carmody falls. Looked like he hit his head, and he is slow to get up on the bench.
Big scramble for loose ball, and Carmody, is still down. The officials have conferred and say the Mars has the ball, but you've got Michael Carmody with a bum ankle. He twisted it on a loose ball, and now Carmody, Robbie Carmody, appears to be okay.
Sideline, ball comes into Caruso.
You can't let Carmody get the ball back.
Carmody has the ball back.
Not good.
Left hand, he's got pressure from the Nealons. How about a push-off? And he's got it.
Foul.
Give Drew Nealon that one. The net comes back to the light, and he's got a forearm push-off from Robbie Carmody and an offensive foul.
So 4 on Carmody. Both Carmodys have 4 now at this point.
2:57 remaining. Ball in the hands of George Tinsley, who we were just informed had hit his 1,000th point of his career. So congratulations to George, but I'm sure he'd rather take a state championship over 1,000 points. 2:45 to go. Ball inside. Tinsley at the top of the key. Looks inside, can't find Jackson Danzig because he's out of the game at this point. Here's Kyle Perkins now. Corey Perkins. Perkins over to Malone at the Logos. Back to Perkins. Over to Drew Nealon. Nealon trapped in the corner. Left hand finds Malone. Layup this time goes for Michael Malone. After the fourth try, he gets one to go, and the lead extends to 7, 57-50.
Perfectly executed.
Andrew Recchia, left wing, back to the top of the key. Guarded by Jack Nealon. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Malone. Ball swatted away, back in Jack Nealon's hands. He finds Corey Perkins. Perkins bumped, and that's going to be number 5 on Michael Carmody. His season and his night will end with 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
So now things get a lot smaller. One thing for Abington Heights, they're going to have the height advantage inside. Malone can control the glass, so it should be one and done on any missed shot for Mars. Also the ball handling as well. That should help the Comets as well, as Perkins is going to go to the line. This is 2 shots.
Perkins, 69%. True on his first one, and an 8-point lead. 2 minutes remaining. Checking in for the Planets is number 20, Connor Ansler, a 5'9" senior guard. Second one goes for Perkins, and a 9-point lead, which matches Abington's largest of the night.
10 for Perkins. Great night for him.
Here's Recchia, top of the key. Loses the handle, gets it over to Brandon Caruso. Back into Robbie Carmody's hands. And we have a hand check against Jack Nealon. Jack Nealon, the Nealon brothers, who my past partner Dan Hogan said, no doubt that Nealons can shoot. There isn't a shot on the court that they don't like. So, but defensively, that's the stand that we're getting from them tonight, and we have a great output from Corey Perkins and great output from George Tinsley. But this puts Carmody on the line. Can't get the first one to go. $149, 59-50 lead for the Comets here in the fourth quarter.
Nobody on the line for Mars.
Second one
Here
goes.
comes the press.
Guess that's confidence. Full court press. Here's Perkins looking in the middle of the floor. He's got Drew Nealon.
Malone might want to
Perkins.
be a threat a little bit here. He's bigger than everybody.
Cross court pass goes to Tinsley. Pull up, bank shot goes from the left block, and a 61-51 lead for the Comets, their largest of the night. Here's Recchia. Hands off to Caruso. In the hands of Robbie Carmody, right wing. Another blocking foul, this time against Jack Nealon.
Carmody may shoot 20 free throws tonight. If they're going to call that stuff, he's going to be at the line. He's already attempted 13 foul shots.
And he's hit his season average. He's got 32 tonight. And on average, he
10
hits
of them
31.
are from the line.
Sure, 31 on average for the season. Minute 29 to go. Comets with the 10-point lead. Robbie Carmody, first one goes.
Well, the Comets will gladly exchange baskets.
Second one on the way. Yeah, Robbie Carmody a little scared with that one, but it does go just off the tip of the rim. 61-53. Here's Jack Nealon, and he is fouled from behind.
Who's it on? It's on Carmody.
It's on Carmody, Robbie Carmody. That looks like it's his 5th foul. He is out, and head coach Rob Carmody not happy about it. Getting the hand wave to the officials, shaking his head, telling him to stay out there. He wants to use his full 30 seconds to get his substitution in.
So now, if you're Mars, where does the scoring come from? Carmody has been at the line all night.
Question coming between Rob Carmody and the head and the officials here, looking for his
He's trying to
substitution.
stall. He's trying to stall here. He's a complete stall tactic, trying to say that Carmody had 5 fouls, and now they're going to try. They finally get him out of the game.
Some laughs go.
So now no size and now no scoring on the court for Mars. Where's it going to come from? Recchia has had the hot hand from three-point land, but that was all in the first half.
Frustration comes from Robbie Carmody as Jack Nealon drains the first free throw attempt. Screaming on the sidelines is Robbie Carmody, embracing his brother Michael Carmody, who has tears in his eyes. And Jack Nealon, second one on the way, gets it to go. And the lead grows for the Comets. 63-53, a minute 20 to go.
Locate your shooters.
Here's Caruso. He drives. His teardrop goes, and a quick timeout for the Fighting Planets with a minute 17 to go and an 8-point lead.
They're down to 1. They can only stop at once. Carmody finishes with 34. Tinsley has 19 of his 29 here second half.
Unbelievable effort given what Jackson Danzig had gone through earlier in the foul out with 5 minutes and change to go here in the fourth quarter. You can't say enough. It's been one for another. You look to the great games that Danzig has had earlier, than 38 earlier in the state playoff run, and now it's back on the shoulders of Tinsley. And you can't say enough for what this junior forward has done, really junior guard, junior forward has done for the Comets all season, but especially here tonight.
You got to locate the three-point shooters for Mars. Recchia is the best one so far tonight, 3 of 5. But Mars is only 1 for 10 in the second half from the three-point line. Because Carmody's gone to the basket and been to the line all night. So now the three-point shooters, Recchia has made 3, Caruso one, and Carmody made the other two, so not a lot of three-point shooting out there. So now the Comets can kind of the three-point line a little bit, but now they've got to be strong here, and I think Malone has got to be a little bit of an option on this press, even though he doesn't handle it. He's got a much shorter guy on him.
Biggest guy is Joe Kraska. He stands at 6 feet tall, so the height advantage. It's to cut to Corey Perkins. Perkins on the right wing, looks underneath. He's got Nealon, and Nealon is fouled from behind. That's against Caruso. That'll be Caruso's fourth. A minute 8 to go. 63-55 Comets. Again, Comet Nation to its feet, hands dangling in the air. First one goes.
13 of 15 from the foul line for the Comets tonight.
Coach Ken Bianchi talking to the officials. This is a make.
Missed
It
it.
was going to be a timeout.
Oh,
Rebound.
big rebound. No.
Michael Malone doesn't get it. Ball is in the hands of Recchi. He pulls up long distance three to Way, but it was tapped.
Stout defense. Contest the three. Don't foul the three-point shooter here. Hand in the face.
61 seconds to go. Comets have a 9-point lead. 64-55. Recchia corner. Shoots the ball back out top. Now the ball in the hands of Caruso. Three-pointer. No good. Rebound Tinsley. 51 seconds to go. Now Nealon. He's fouled. 70% free throw shooter. He'll go back to the line with 49.1 to go. And the Comets again, Comet Nation rises to its feet. You can sense the excitement. You can sense the intensity. You can sense the emotion. And I think Coach Ken Bianchi, again, he's hoping for a make because he wants to get a timeout. Go ahead.
Abington has made their last 11 foul shots in the semifinals as well. So foul shooting has been expertise, and he's got a couple here.
Full timeout here for the Comets.
30.
They have 3 remaining after this. 66-55 lead with 41 seconds to go. Here in center in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the boys 5A basketball state championship.
They've now acknowledged that George Tinsley has scored his 1,000th point. And Mars has put in 2 subs here.
Trying to get some height advantage back out there.
It may be just strictly a fouling
Joe Schneider.
offense for defense.
Joe Snyder is 6'5", so
Yep.
they're looking for a little bit of a height advantage there.
Hunter Fetzko is in there. 2 guys who are strictly in there probably to foul. Class act here. Coach Carmody has come out on the floor and actually congratulated George Leslie on 1,000 points. Of course, he knows what 1,000 points is. His son, Robbie Carmody, has 2,600 points.
Gatorade basketball. Here you can't deny what he's done here tonight as Tinsley knocks this one away with 43.4. Again, an 11-point lead. Comets trying to maintain composure out on the floor. Here's a three-pointer from the lefty. That's number 20, Connor Ansler. That doesn't go.
Hold on to it, boys.
To Corey Perkins. I've screwed his name up all night. My apologies. And here's Drew Nealon, who's clobbered in the right wing of the court. And he'll go to the free throw line. My apologies to Corey Perkins. All night long I've called him Kyle. I've called him different people. And here comes a class move from Coach Ken Bianchi with an 11-point lead and 30 seconds to go. He's going to check all of his players out and get them the recognition that they deserve.
Everybody out of the game now.
Checking in, 44, Alex Derry. 21, Tucker Schimmelfinnick. 12, I don't have on the roster. My apologies to 12. And
Derek
34, Adam Demowich. There's Nealon. He's good on his free throw attempts. 12-point lead. 30 seconds to go here in the 5A championship game. Long three-pointer on the way. No good. Nealon with the rebound. He clears out. There's going to be no attempt. 17-16. You down at home.
Looks like Mars is they're going to
Conceded.
guard, but they're going to be out of the fouling mode, it looks like.
5 to its feet. And for the first time in school history, and for Coach Ken Bianchi, the Abington Heights Comets are state champions, defeating the Mars Fighting Planets 67-55. It's hard to fathom in this arena before at this level, but you have to thank him and you have to congratulate him and this team, who he said was not necessarily his most talented team that he's ever had, Dean. Just a team that came together, resilient, fights through, kisses on the floor. The Comet has landed, and it has landed squarely at the Giant Center here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Gold trophy as state champions in Class 5.
Well, like we said at the beginning, they've been close a lot of times. They've been very close often here and not been able to get over the hump just to get here, let alone to try to possibly win a state champion. They probably had some great teams that might have had a chance to possibly win a state title. They finally get over the hump. Tremendous poise against tremendous adversity. Some points there, a special grass move, and Ken Bianchi and head coach Rob Carmody still talking at midcourt. And you can tell two guys who have been around the game very long, and know the game and are class acts on both sides of the state, and very similar school districts, tremendous academics programs over at Mars as well, and they have done a tremendous job, and they've been trying to get over the hump as well, and they can't do it here as they've gotten to this stage a couple of times, but they've run into a Newman Goretti or a Bishop Pendergrass there, or a Bonner Pendergrass in there as well, so they've struggled to get over the hump, and Abington Heights, of course, has finally gotten here, so we thought, well, are they starstruck? Are they just captured by the moment of just being here? How would they perform? Both teams seem to perform well right out of the chute. First 3 or 4 minutes seemed like the nerves were really out. Neither team really had a lot of jitters in the first point. Game was close throughout. Comets got a little bit of a run. They tried to shorten the game a little bit. They got really some cheap baskets inside, some easy layups inside, and really if they could just handle Carmody inside, because he was a one-man wrecking crew the entire time to try to get Mars back in it, essentially single-handedly getting him back in. He scored, I think, 13, 14 straight points, especially in that third quarter, late fourth quarter, but really two teams that are really a lot alike, two great players, and then some supporting cast, and both teams really a lot alike, and they do it a little bit different ways. Carmody, really a slasher to the rim. I mean, he's going to be tremendous to watch. If he brings that game to Notre Dame, that's going to bring another aspect to them, able to get to the rim, and brings a tremendous game. And of course, his younger brother, Michael Carmody, is probably going to be a pretty darn good football player everywhere. But you look at this, of course, a couple of folks back here for this team. Of course, they lose Jackson Danzig as well, but George Tinsley is going to be back as well, so he's going to have another chance to add to that 1,000 and be part of that 1,000-point club as well. Medal
ceremony getting set here, as you can see the team out on the floor. Everybody arm in arm out on the floor. You can't say enough. Head coach Ken Bianchi, assistant coach Jeff McLean, other assistants Chris Bianchi, Jamie Egan, and Luke Peterson. Just a tremendous job all season long. 26-3 now, 27-3. 25 straight District 2 playoff wins. Count their current season now 11-game win streak. The only loss, their last loss back on February 3rd to a 6A school, Methacton. You play outside of the area, and this is the reason why. You face that other competition, Harrisburg, Downingtown East, 6A schools, and you try and raise and elevate your play so that when you get in an atmosphere like this, it's second nature. You don't have to worry. You've seen it before. You've seen size. You've seen speed. As Mars is getting their state trophy, they've got their medals, and it is Robbie Carmody along with Cade Hetzler and Andrew Recchia as they go senior, junior, respectively. An incredible season for Robbie Carmody, incredible career, and as you said, he'll be in the ACC next year playing for Coach Mike Bray in Notre Dame. And listen to the crowd come to their feet as the public address announcer gets set to hand out medals to the PIAA Class 5A state champions, the Abington Heights Comets.
Well, they get the net. They don't get to cut it down, but they get it. So that's already down with the. I don't know who gets a piece of the chocolate bar. That'll be divvied up on the bus on the way home. I think that's a 5-pounder too. That's a lot to go around. You can get the whole bus with that one. You get the big chunk of chocolate there, and of course the gold basketball will look very good next to the gold baseball that's in the trophy case up in Clark Summit.
Absolutely, and the hallway outside the gym, there'll be a new team picture that goes up alongside the baseball team, alongside Evan Craig, and alongside Jordan Hoyt, adding to the athletic lore and the athletic dominance that teams from Abington Heights have shown over the years. Again, you can't say enough for Coach Ken Bianchi and his storied career. All of the great wins, all of the great successes that he's had at Scranton and West Scranton and now at Abington Heights, and having the opportunity to put gold medals over kids' necks. And he just was able to get one over Mike Malone's neck here. And he told a story against in the semifinal game how Malone had a couple of opportunities to score some layups and he couldn't get it to fall. And Malone walked off the court with a heavy head and felt that maybe they wouldn't have had to be in the overtime period if he converted some. And they got to the locker room and he said, guys, my teams haven't had a lot over the last couple of years, but one team this team has is Mike Malone. And the team, they went crazy, all went back, to support Mike Malone. And Mike Malone had a couple clutch baskets down the stretch here. And can't say enough about those guys that have stepped up, Corey Perkins and Jack Nealon. Great games here tonight.
Now Ken Bianchi getting his medal now finally.
Coach Bianchi, nobody will put it over his neck, so he'll have to do it. Oh,
he's going to put it over his assistant coach. Coach McLean has been a long-time assistant in his side. And
here's Coach Bianchi finally getting his
medal. Don't mess his hair up.
So apparently St. Anne had one remaining as the Comets come out victorious tonight. Now the trophy presentation from Dr. Lombardi. George Tinsley, Jackson Danzig there to receive the trophy along with the Hershey chocolate bar and the 5-pound chocolate bar as they hoist the trophy over their head with the net cut down around it.
Frank Majikas, the district chair of District 2, got to hand out the championship trophy to his district representative. And here come the rest of the crew. There'll be some noise. Don't think there's something bad going on in downtown Clark Summit here, because when they get done, it's going to be about midnight before these guys get back, and they're going to make a heck of a lot of noise coming through downtown Clark Summit tonight.
If they're lucky. Final stats getting handed out to us here.
Mars finished 18 of 42 from the field, 43%. But really, if you look in the first half, shooting over 50%, second half in the mid-30s in terms of shooting percentage. So they really cooled off. 6 for 22 from the three-point line, 13 of 17 from the foul line, but 12 of 15 of that was from Carmody going to the line. For Abington Heights, 22 of 44. They finished right at 50%, including 8 of 12 in that third quarter and just 5 of 7 because they tried to shorten the game in that fourth quarter. So not a lot of shots attempted, but most of those were layups at the other end. There were a lot of high percentage shots there in the fourth quarter. Finally heated up a little bit from three-point range, 7 for 18 from 3, 16 of 20 from the foul line. Excellent foul shooting once again. They won the rebounding battle 27-23. George Tinsley had 8 rebounds as well. Assists 7 for Mars and 15 for Abington Heights on 22 made baskets. That's very good. Both teams had 11 turnovers in that frenetic a pace and that physical a game. Pretty good job keeping handling the basketball as well. 3 blocks and 7 steals for Abington Heights, 3 blocks and 9 steals for Mars. Very even really on paper, and really the starters until the end played. Recchia, Carmody, both Carmodys played over almost 30 minutes of a 32-minute game.
Right.
And so they played all, and then Tinsley and Perkins and Nealon and Malone all played the full game except for Jackson Danzig, who fouled out, and he played 27. Right. So It'll be a fun trip back home as they continue to reap the spoils there, and the Comet folks kind of hanging around, kind of soaking this one in.
No one has
10
left.
10 till 10 at night on a school night, but there are going to be some tired folks sauntering in then to Abington Heights High School, and a lot of bleary eyes, but it'll be duly noted and expected here in this one. And now the Comets are finally going to head over to the student section here.
And walking with the net that was cut down, actually taken down from the crew here, is Drew Nealon. And you want to talk about a young man who stepped up in an adverse situation given what Jackson Danzig had to go through fouling out early in the fourth quarter. You know, you talk about the additions that some of the guys had made, you know, Perkins and Jack Nealon, but for Drew Nealon to come in and draw some fouls, against Robbie Carmody and get him checked out of the game, you can't say enough about those guys that aren't necessarily going to show up in the scorebook for points, but what they offered here tonight and bringing home a state championship are things that they'll never forget either.
It was really interesting. Jackson Danzig fouls out. It's still kind of a close game. Now what's Abington? You can feel the diversity and you feel the kind of the angst that had that hit the Abington crowd a little bit there because, okay, Jackson Danzig is fouled out of the game. All the focus now is on George Tinsley. Can he handle it? They bring in Drew Nealon, who essentially his sole job is to basically try to guard Robbie Carmody, who's a Division I player and is going to Notre Dame next year. And he gave up a couple fouls in the process, did the best he could. He actually drew an offensive foul on him, drew a double foul on him as well, did the best he could, basically coming in cold off the bench in the third quarter. Again, Abington did not sub in the entire first half at all. So these are players coming in ice cold off the bench. So it really accrued to that, really hats off to them because that is a very tough role to come in, sitting on the bench for essentially 16, 24 minutes, and now asked to essentially guard the best player in the state of Pennsylvania.
Right, yeah, not only on the floor but in the state of Pennsylvania, absolutely. Well, the team over with the fans. You've got basketballs in the crowd. You've got phones all over the place. You've got cheerleaders. You've got administrators. You've got Coach Jeff McClain getting interviewed by Fox 56 right now. And you can't say enough about the careers, again, the coaching staff. Personally, just to see and to know the career that Coach Ken Bianchi has had, and this certainly doesn't cap anything off because he's still got a long career ahead of him, but to get to this point and get here and get over the hump, Dean, as you had said earlier, just an outstanding effort for a team, for a coaching staff, their dedication, what they've gone through all season long, the adversity that they faced. Last week having to watch, as a player shot 4 free throws and hits 3 out of the 4 of them to keep them in the game in the overtime period. Everything that they faced, it's nice to see it capped off with a state championship.
Yep, essentially 10 feet from losing a game.
Yeah.
10 feet from not even being here.
Right.
And possibly, not even getting this far. But Abington Heights, 5 seniors, Garrett Plants, Tucker Schimmelfennig, Jackson Danzig, Aiden Demkovich, and Alex Derry. Those 5 are seniors on the team for Abington Heights, and folks will be heading back to Northeast PA there with some chocolate and a gold trophy and a net.
And just to give you some perspective as we wrap things up here, the last winner from District 2 was Bishop O'Reilly, which isn't even in existence anymore.
Yep.
They've merged and created with Bishop Hoban and created Holy Redeemer. In 2004 and 2005, O'Reilly wins the state Class A championship. And the last Lackawanna League champion was Bishop Hannon, again Class A in 2002.
Somebody pretty famous played on that team.
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Jerry McNamara played on that team.
A 70-68 winner over Stowe Rocks. Any final thoughts, Dean, before we check out?
Wow, a great night, a great atmosphere. I mean, the evening session here, I mean, we had the Upper Dublin Central Bucks South game went down to the last second. We thought we were going to be on about 15 minutes later because we thought that game was going to go overtime.
Right.
That was a 2-point game.
Right.
So it was nice to have 2 close games. And of course, the first day was marred a little bit from a lot of blowouts and a lot of lopsided games. And and say what you will about what's happened between private, private, charter schools, public schools. 2 public schools going at it right here, and and it's another state championship, the second one, first in basketball for Abington Heights, and they finally kind of get over the hump, get to the state championship game, and finally and seal the deal here. So some fun times going back to Clark Summit there. So they'll be able to raise a banner and put a banner on the gym wall next year, I'm sure, towards the first game of the season as well. So they're going to ride this to about November, I'm sure.
There's no doubt that in District 2, the Abington Heights Comets now have bragging rights. Doesn't matter what happened in the league, doesn't matter what happened in the district. And although Abington came through winning a league in a district championship, 7 straight district championships. But tonight, a 67-55 winner in the Class 5A state championship. Congratulations to the Comets. Congratulations to Coach Bianchi and his entire staff. For Thomas Kerrigan, for Tom Robinson, for Dean Corwin, I am Chris Zuma. Clark Summit, your Comets are coming home state champions. 67-55 winners tonight over the Mars Fighting Planets. We hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. Good night for those that are here. Safe travels, and maybe we'll see you next year.